Hello everyone, my name is Eric, and today I'm going to be talking about the supposed loneliness epidemic that exists across the globe. This presentation is going to be based off the Freakonomics podcast on the epidemic of loneliness. First of all, I'm going to make a distinction about some definitions. Contrary to popular belief, alone and lonely do not mean the same thing. While being alone just means being by yourself, being lonely is something specific that has to do with the quantity of social interaction that you receive versus how much you expect. More precisely, loneliness conventionally is defined as the subjective discrepancy between our actual level of social connection and our desired level of social connection. And other groups have quantified it as having a confidant, one or more confidants. The reason that as a society we've been talking more about loneliness over the past century or so is because of the detrimental effects that excessive loneliness has for your health. In fact, many cases of chronic illnesses and different addictions, such as nicotine or alcoholism, trace back to emotional problems that are often the result of social interactions. It's actually been stated that loneliness is the equivalent of smoking 15 cigarettes a day or having chronic alcoholism problems. More recently, the topic of loneliness as a public health issue has been discussed across the globe. Vivek Murthy, who is an internal medicine doctor and former Surgeon General, claims that loneliness has actually caused health issues in many of his patients. And he even wrote a book on the issue because so many of the physical problems that he addressed in his patients stemmed from emotional or social problems. Moreover, in the United Kingdom, Tracy Couch was appointed as the first loneliness minister, which is a position that is supposed to deal with loneliness as a topic of public health. Moreover, since around the 1980s, through various statistical methods, we've determined that there has been a 2 times increase in loneliness in the United States. There has also been a lot of discussion about why loneliness causes different physical problems for people. The leading hypothesis currently is that being around other people has been very important to survival in the past, which was true when people hunted and gathered, and it was required to stay in groups in order to survive. Thus, when people were by themselves long ago, this led to an elevated stress state that they felt, which is helps them survive in the short term, but overall is going to be detrimental for them. This theory was primarily brought up by a sociologist who studied the Chicago heat wave. He noticed that in a particular heat wave in Chicago, even though communities seem to be close-knit, many people live alone, which is a very rare thing and has only recently happened in history. A lot has been theorized about why loneliness has increased so much in the past 50 years, but many experts believe that it is primarily to do with the internet. Because loneliness is defined as the discrepancy between how much social interaction a person desires and how much they actually get, the internet often creates unrealistic expectations of the quantity of social interaction that is healthy and normal in humans, even when it is actually so different between everybody. By combating this problem of loneliness, there are many health benefits that we can garner. For example, often more social connection has often been linked to a longer life, although this result is a bit prone to bias because many people who are lonely might be lonely because of pre-existing health conditions, and it is not just because they are lonely. Moreover, to increase social interaction and decrease loneliness, many people have found service for other people to be extremely helpful.